Shout out Redzone In the Lab podcast.
Yo, what is good? What is up? High noon to you. Welcome to Double Nickels Cafe. What is on the menu today? Marshon Lattimore is on the menu today. Marshon Lattimore. We're going to be taking these lunches at the cafe to do grades for the next couple weeks of the roster. Not so much the bottom of the roster, but most of the roster that we had significant playing time before we get into who we want to bring back and who we don't want to bring back. But how y'all doing, man? How y'all feeling? You know what I'm saying? What y'all eating for lunch, man? I just had a grilled cheese. I had a grilled cheese. I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know what South is. Where all my health buffs at? Where all my health buffs at? All right. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. So Commander's Twitter is going around. Brom Weinstein. He on his podcast mentioned that they are going to tweak the uniforms. How y'all feel about that? How do you all feel about tweaking the uniforms? I'm cool with it. Like, I know, and for me, man, like, whatever. Like, the whole uniform thing, I'm not, whatever, man. People don't like this color, that design, whatever. You show me something if I like it. Oh, yeah, that's cool. What's up, Radar? Appreciate you, man. I'm trying to find out about the name from Brian. Why I want to. I'm trying to see if anyone has it at the 8-minute mark. Anyone have it? They said it was at the 8-minute mark. So I'm trying to see if I can find the podcast. Maybe it's through this website here. But for the uniforms, man, I'm cool with it. I know the helmet, I wouldn't mind the 3 stripes, right? And maybe outline the W. That'll be cool. I also think I'm trying to find, I don't see it. I also think that the logo is in play. The old logo is in play. I think that's possible. I wouldn't put that off. I saw that. I saw he deleted that tweet. I saw that. I'm trying to find it, man. I don't see it. All right. I don't know. I'm trying to look on this website to find a link or something. I don't know, but I'm cool with it. I ain't mad at it. If we do it, don't do it, whatever. It's all good. I ain't stressing out about it. But I'm trying to see anyone has the exact words. Do y'all have the exact words anywhere? And of course, this brings up the whole name change and all that. And then the whole thing with Kevin Sheehan about the whole name change. That I just don't know, man. Like, and we haven't, and Josh has not really shut it down. They just pushed it, which is another issue. But hey, we'll. I got it. Hold up, I got it, y'all. Hold up, let me play it real quick. I got it. And then we're gonna start talking about Marshon and what I feel about how I feel about Marshon. All right, it's on YouTube. All right, let's rock and roll. Let's see what we talking about. Let's see what we talking about.
Scenario. Right now, these two seem to really like each other and really like to actually break things down in a good way.
Okay, next topic. I must bring this up, and I'm a little surprised that I have to bring it up, but because my friend Kevin Sheehan,
you can hear
said something on his podcast where he insinuated that he heard something's happening with the name. I'm going to say, and this is not to be totally counter, and I'm not suggesting that he doesn't know what he's talking about. He does, and I'm sure he knows people in the organization, and they're talking to him. I will just say it is not something I've heard about at all. Like, they're aware that it is not the most popular thing. The ownership here also grew up with the Redskins, right? So trust me, they feel it, hear it, but they have said this over and over and over. It's not a priority. And I have not heard a single thing about any headwinds of it changing anytime soon. Now, it doesn't mean that it won't at some point, or that Kevin isn't getting information that I don't know, because maybe he is. But I'm just telling you from what I've heard and from my perspective, this is not high on the priority list. And it's not something that they feel like it's not simple to do. Okay. Like, I know it feels like as we went through it that it somehow was, it isn't. And when it has been brought up to me, and not typically by me, but just somehow brought up through some of the people that I know in the ownership group, the first thing out of their mouth is, that is not an easy thing to do. It's a very, very difficult, expensive project. And it's just, of the money they spent on the stadium, on the practice facility, on probably lobbyists to probably make sure that the stadium went through at least, to the point where the city council and the mayor need to work on trying to make this a reality at RFK, or dealing with the other jurisdictions, all the things that they've spent on it. This is just not high on the priority list. So because Kevin did what he did, I got a lot of messages from people. It's why I just want to address it, because I don't know what he heard, and I'm not saying he's wrong. All I'm saying is that was speculative to me, because no one has said a word to me about the name changing anytime soon. And it's not even something that bubbles up and I hear about. Like, typically you would hear like, hey, they're talking about this or talking about that. That's not even part of the conversation. So sorry to disappoint you. I'll just say that up front. Sorry to disappoint you because I know a lot of people hear that and they go, oh, they're going to change it again. Maybe they will, but I'm not hearing a word about that right now.
I have said this for years. You know how I felt
There
about
we go.
the branding and the process of going through the branding. I don't think they're doing anything until they're having the stadium locked in and there's a timeline to literally leave it behind. And that's if they want to by that point. Like, let's say they do get, let's say RFK really does come through. What's the realistic timeline that they're
He
going to
got
be
a
at
Brunel
RFK?
jersey. I love it.
2030? Is that, do you think that's probably about right? Like, let's say it comes through this season, 5 years to get it done, built, all
if the
that.
city council and the mayor approve it, I think 2030 would probably be a realistic year that you could expect it to be open. But because they still have to go through the environmental studies and all the things, the red tapey things that you have to go through just to do it.
I don't even
and
know.
then they got to build the thing, and it's going to take 1 to 2 years to build it.
Yet.
Right. So I'm looking at that timeline, and if they're going to do anything, I think that becomes the deadline. And all of a sudden, if it's 2030, it's like, okay, we're going to start this process in 2028. And you know what? They might not even tell you they're going to be going through this process, because last time, when we were going through this,
they're implementing another work platform.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like I'm with Brom here, man. Whatever, right? Like I don't think they're focused on that right now. It's so many other things to focus on, and they're putting so much money into current things. So, I mean, he even mentioned the practice facility. We was talking about that not too long ago, last week, I think, or earlier this week, about the practice facility and them doing upgrades there. Right? They did upgrades to headquarters. They had to get more offices and bigger offices, so a lot of the staff was pushed to FedEx, Northwest Stadium, and then they have some buildings and some space over at Maryland and College Park. So I do think that they did the field, at the practice facility, right? They did a whole new field, so I think they'll expand like the weight room and those different types of things with some new equipment and so I think they might tweak the uniforms. We might get some of that probably in February, as things seems to die down when you get into the draft process before free agency starts. I think we'll hear something in February if that's what they're going to do. So it's not like something that they just thought about doing, right? Like they just woke up one day. This has probably been discussions is being and been had. So yeah, man, that's where I am with the uniform. I mean, of course it's a conversation, but all right, grades. We're going to grade players. From this past season. We're not grading like the whole 53, but the majority of it. We'll do it here at Double Nickel Cafe. And let's get right to it, man. Marshon Lattimore. Marshon Lattimore. The thing with Marshon Lattimore, when you talk to fans, it's either bad or good. There's no in between. You're either on the side with cut ties with him. He doesn't have it anymore. He's old, got bad hammies. We won't incur any cap hit charges. Get rid of him. Then you have the side that's like he never fully recovered. He's out there not playing 100%. You saw flashes of his greatness. give him a full off season with the Commanders. Give him a full off season with the Commanders, medical team, training team, opportunity to learn the defense, learn his players, et cetera, et cetera. Those are the two sides. Those are the two sides. There's really no in between with Marshon Lattimore. Those of you that are listening, if you can chat, how do you feel about Marshon Lattimore? Are you with the side of cut ties with him? Or are you with the side with give him an off season into next year? We gave the Saints a 2025 third round pick, 2025 fourth round pick, and a 2025 sixth round pick. In return, we receive Marshon Lattimore and a 2025 fifth round pick. Great, those are a lot of picks, a lot of mid-round picks that Adam Peters loves. And to go back a little bit, I do not think we make that trade on November 5th with a losing record or a even record, like a 500 record. I don't think we make that trade. We made that trade because I think at the time we were like 7-2 or 6-2. And there were cornerbacks to be traded. DJ Reed, Marshon Lattimore. The report came out that we wanted DJ Reed. We reached out to the Jets about DJ Reed, and they told us no. They told us no. So Marshon Lattimore was not the first choice. He was the second choice, right? DJ Reed is probably going to be available in the offseason. I don't think he's going to be franchise tag. The Jets had just fired Salah, so they thought they was going to make a run, I guess, somehow. That didn't happen. That's why everybody was fired, right? So they could have got compensation for DJ Reed to help them move forward because they don't really have a lot of money. So they didn't do it. All right, cool. There's a chance that we still might go after DJ Reed, but that's a whole nother discussion. Yes, we're talking about 22+1 South. Poster King, that press conference sounded selfish because he didn't give us any turnovers for us. But I do feel he needs an off season. But he needs to see why he has hammy issues. Go see a specialist. Now, the hammy issues, he's had these since college. He had surgery in college on his hamstrings. 4 years into the NFL, he injured it again. Another 4 years into the NFL, here we are again with the hamstrings. He only had surgery on him once, I believe. When we made the trade, he injured his hamstrings early in the season. He came back. A lot of people say he came back too early, or maybe he shouldn't have come back. He came back and he re-aggravated him in that same game. He was out 2 games with the injury, and we traded for him. A lot of us felt like he's doing the whole Devontae Adams thing. Yeah, my ankle, my back. But as soon as the trade went down, you saw him sprinting onto the practice field with the Jets, right? Nothing's wrong with him. That wasn't the case for Marshon. Marshon was traded here the week before Pittsburgh. He didn't play in the Pittsburgh game. A lot of us say, okay, yeah, he just got here, give him time, blah, blah, blah. We're going to need him for Philly. A lot of people expected him to play against Philly. He did not play against Philly. He did not play against Philly. He did not play against – no, it was the Ravens. I think it was the Ravens. Hold on. Was it the Ravens? No, it wasn't the Ravens. Yeah. It was Pittsburgh and then Philly. Come back around, he didn't play against that next team was the Cowboys. Was it? He didn't play against the Cowboys, right? Then we had to bye, and then he came back, and the first game was against the Saints. So by that time, people was already wish-washy on him, right? By that time, he was already behind the 8 ball. He comes to play against the Saints, gets no targets. No targets. Everyone is excited. The next game versus the Eagles, looking at the game, looks like he had a horrible game. He had a couple PIs, he was scored on, etc. When you go back and look at the tape, he actually played a good game. A more so great game. Some others is just at good game. But for me, the things that he was able to do, man coverage, follow him around. He played the run really well. He does a lot of things really well that we haven't seen from a cornerback here in a long time. In that game, he re-injures his hamstring, and he's out the rest of the season. First game against Tampa Bay, he gets destroyed. He gets pushed up and down the field. They run away from him. He's mentally not in the game. He lost the physical battle, and he lost the mental battle against Evans. Terrible game. He comes back against Detroit. I think he gets 1 target. That's it. Good game, whatever. Then against the Eagles, A.J. Brown just cooked them up and down the field. Gets penalties, gets scored on, et cetera, et cetera. He does have a couple stops, but yeah. That's where we at with Marshon. So when it comes to the hammy thing, I don't know how they're going to look at it this offseason. I know a lot of people say if you don't get surgery with hamstrings, you just got to sit down and let him rest. Right? A lot of people say, well, he's got a lot of rest, which is true. So I don't really know, but I know this medical team, Dan and AP, have a plan. I believe they have a plan. I hope Marshon is on board, whatever their plan is. And that's how they go about this offseason. If he needs to have surgery, go have the surgery, if that's best for him. But he has 2 years remaining on that deal with only $4 million of guaranteed money, 2 this year and 2 next year. I don't know what AP's plan is as far as his number, because it's $18 million against the cap. So those all game checks. I don't know if he wants to extend them. I wouldn't want to. I don't know. Maybe he'll convert some of that money into bonus money this year. I'll be okay with that. Is right now is $36 million on the cap the next 2 years. I wouldn't mind doing I don't know. I got to look at numbers, maybe like 15 guaranteed over the next couple years, something like that. Don't extend, don't add money. I mean, that'll help the player, motivate him a little bit. Maybe they'll do something like that. I don't know. I'm with the side of give him an off season. Hey, if you don't work out, cool, but I'm not just moving to create another hole. Got to have a plan. Now, was he any good in spots? Yeah, over was underwhelming, and I agree. I agree. What else? Poster King, I think Ward coming here. Yeah, a lot of people saying Chuck Davis Ward. People saying DJ Reed. We have Marshon. We got Mikey. Listen, we don't have that much money, right? And these guys is not going to be taking crazy pay cuts. They're not going to be taking crazy pay cuts, man. So let's see. Let's see how it shapes out. To be honest with you, I'd rather have a young corner. From the draft. I know there are some. I know a lot of them was coming off an injury, so that's something to look out for. But again, like I said yesterday, I don't really know. Like I don't really know what's out there as far as draft prospects. Just a couple people we're seeing. Our draft cover show starts February 16th, so be on the lookout for that. And free agency and via trade. I just haven't really been looking at it, but we are going to be looking at those things coming up. See what we got. What's up, Cuddy? How you feeling today, man? You feeling a little bit better? One more day. You got to turn that YN switch on. Okay, so about that, I've always like a team like our team, even the past regime. I need one crash out, right? Like I need one crash out. I need one person that Ken Norton Jr. or one of these old heads who had to get in their face a couple times during the all season, during practice or something. I need a crash out. Frankie Louvu is not really a crash out. Frankie Louvu is like he's OC. That's what he is. Like he's OC. He's not really a crash out. I need at least one crash out. People say, well, you know, I don't want to mess up the culture, this, and that. Yeah, that's true. But at the same time, we have a lot of experience in this coach's room and a front office. Ton of experience. So you should be able to handle a whole lot of yes men and one crash out. Right? But we need at least one. But the only thing about being a crash out is you gotta ball out. Like you gotta perform. Like you can't be getting beat and you can't be getting, you know what I'm saying? Like you still gotta ball out, even though you're a crash out. You get me a 15-yard unnecessary roughness or unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, I need a forced fumble. I need a huge stop on 3rd and 3. I need a sack on 3rd and 13 to get off the field. I need a pass breakup. I need an interception. I need a big hit that forces an incompletion. I need a tiptoe catch out of bounds. I need a pancake block. Like wherever the crash out is, whatever position that crash out plays, bro, I need you to perform. So yeah, you could crash out, but I need you to be able to tell me, yeah, I crashed out, but I also did this, and this to help us win the game. Don't be a crash out and be a bum, bro. Dante, what's up, man? This might be your first time coming. I appreciate you, man. Continue to come back. If the man hurt, why not roll covers to support Spy on the All-Pro receiver? Yeah, man, I get it. That Tampa Bay game, they did do that in the fourth quarter. They stopped following him. They stopped having Marshon travel. They didn't do it in the Philly game. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, he was just over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is, man. When you have somebody like that you're looking at them as an all-pro and one of the best corners in the league, you know, you don't do a lot of the things that you would normally do because you think he's able to hold up his own. Obviously, he wasn't able to do it. Mike could have, man, Smith, everyone else in the box, stop the run. Bingo. Hey, Miss Janet. Maya, what's good, man? How you feeling? Ash, what's up? How many positions and players do we need on on defense. We're gonna talk about that, Ash. But for me, just off the top of my head, I want a dominant edge, and I want a true ball hawk free safety as of right now. Revel and DJ Reed wouldn't mind it. Yeah, hey Cuddy, man. It seems like you into the draft, man. Yeah, you got them notifications. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, man. Everyone else that's in here, man, like turn them notifications, share. Get your folks to subscribe, whatever the case may be. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe, man. Crash Out's got a ball out, man. Marshon be getting bullied. How your helmet snatched off? That was crazy. But like you can't get mad. Like we grown up, bro, especially me. Like it's all like the second person is all the retaliator is always going to get in trouble, bro. Because that's where the commotion starts. The person that does it, nobody sees it. But when you respond or when you know what I'm saying, retaliate, because the first throw, right? Or whatever you do, right? The first time you do it, that kind of gets people attention. They look. But then the person who retaliates, either you get hit, you move, whatever the case may be, and then you might throw one to everybody like, ooh, right? So when the ooh happen, that's the person that's going to get in trouble first. And the only way the person that initiated is going to get in trouble is if they retaliate after the retaliation. And that didn't happen. So he got caught. But that's what I'm saying. Marshon understands the game. He's just, not only was he not completely physically ready to compete, he wasn't fully healthy physically, and I don't think he was fully healthy mentally since he's been with us. That conversation between him and Wagner and Detroit, when he was looking at Wagner, remember in the end zone after the fumble recovery, there's something there. Like he's not all the way there, bro. This is why I want to give him an off season. Yeah, he wasn't brought here for safety help, but look, Cuddy, it might have to be that, bro. It might have to be that. The Steelers say that too, but I'm good. Hey, listen. Hey, Pickens might be a crash out, bro, but he'll jump over 3 people in the end zone. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like this is why you have someone like Tomlin. He had AJ Brown. He had all them type dudes. But when they go somewhere else, the other coaches don't know how to deal with it, and they are worse. You think they just became that once they left Pittsburgh? Nah, they was like that in Pittsburgh. But you have to have backbones on your coaches. Like your coaches have to man up. What's up, David? How you doing, man? Brandon, what's good? Dante, what's JD new Madden rating over? I think it was 84, right? A couple last week. But you don't want someone nasty like Jalen Carter when Tyler hit him in the face. He knocked him straight out, bro. That was insane, man. But, bro, like, you do. You do. You want somebody like, because he's a dog. He's entering Aaron Donald realm, bro. He's entering that realm as far as production on the field. Now, if the refs start penalizing him for that stuff, I mean, we'll see. But as right now, they not. We all seen that helmet rolling to the ground at that point. Get your look back. Yeah, man, like you can't just throw somebody's helmet off and not expect nothing in return. All right. So before we get out of here, man, again, I appreciate y'all for coming back. We're going to be doing double nickels, the double nickel cafe, man. That's what we hear every day. We're going to be doing grades for the next couple of weeks. It'll be somewhere between like 11 and 1:30, look like 30 minutes in that time frame, somewhere in there. So set your notifications on because I'll try to put it out there early in the morning, like somewhere before 9, so you can know what time we actually going. You can chop it up with us on your lunch break. So I tell my students all the time, the second person gets caught for sure. What's up, C? What you eating, CJ? You got for lunch, man? I need 11 Jalen Carter. I don't know about 11, bro. Like, I don't know about 11, bro. Like, nah, that's too many. Put pressure on the quarterback too. Yep, that's another point about Marshon and our whole secondary. We just don't get pressure, and for a cornerback to be successful, you need to have protection. Yeah, detention. It's football. You need some dudes on the team who are rap tight. Facts. Yes. So Marshon Lattimore, we talked about Marshon Lattimore, about his negatives, his good, what he can be, what he could be. Where are you with him? Is Evie you're one that just want to get rid of him now or give him the off season? I'm with giving him the off season. I think that's what AP is, giving him the off season. Like AP talked about it during the exit press conference on Monday. He didn't have time. Like he gave him a lot of excuses. Like he coddled Marshon, which I understand. You gave up 2 picks and a pick swap, pretty much, for Marshon Lattimore. A third, a fourth, a sixth. We got back a fifth in Marshon, right? And Adam Peter loves his mid-round picks, right? So he's going to coddle him, but he's also going to expect for him to do whatever their plan is for him to do this offseason. I think he'll do that. We'll see what happens to come back, but I still want to draft the cornerback. I just don't know when, right? Day 2, early day 3, I just don't know when. Depends who's out there. They may trade for one. I don't know who's out there. Haven't really took a deep dive into any of those things yet. But as far as a grade for Marshon, we saw the things that he can do. Oh, CJ said, what you say, CJ? You got a veggie piece of a mushroom truffle. Okay. I had a cheese sandwich. Oh, I can't think of it. Oh my, cheese sandwich. A grilled cheese. I had a grilled cheese from Starbucks. So yeah. So as far as a grade, we saw he's good. He's great against the run. He can follow receivers around. Right now, from what we saw, I don't think he can be the guy that you can travel with wide receivers. And the ones that you travel with, it's usually like the top 5 to top 10, maybe top 15 wide receivers. You have if you believe you have an elite cornerback, you have them travel with those guys. I don't think we have that. I don't think we have that right now in Marshon. He will have to prove that to me next season. But I do think he's a guy that can stick with and cover like the top 40, 50 wide receivers. So I think he's a starting cornerback. I still think he's a CB1. But a lot is going to depend on this offseason for him. So as far as the trade is concerned, as of right now, with the information that we have, I believe we lost that trade as of right now with Marshon Lattimore. And to give him a grade, like I said, you see the positive, the negatives. He's very handsy and he's not making a ton of plays. He made some plays, yes, he did, but he's not making what you would think he would make. He's leading the team with penalty yards, and most of those penalties lead to touchdowns, which is a crazy stat. If you actually average that out over a 17-game span, he's probably breaking all types of records with penalty yards, and you can't have that. You can't kill drives if you're not birthing drives. What I mean by you can't kill drives if you're not birthing drives. If you're going to get a pass interference in the end zone and they score, one of those possessions, I need you to get a pick 6, or I need you to get a pick to get us in the red zone, right? So if you're going to kill drives, I need you to birth drives also. He has not birthed a drive for us, so he definitely losing that category. So, hey, Kim, how are you? Cheese sandwich. Secure was good, man. If he's gotten the top wideouts, he will give up some plays and he will make some plays. But right now, bro, I believe he can do that. He can be that. But right now, from what we saw from him and with his hamstring injuries, he just wasn't birthing enough plays for me. He wasn't doing that enough for me, which is fine. What's up, Alex? Kim says she having sourdough grilled cheese. See, look, we almost close with bacon and Gouda. Wawa sandwich for lunch. Good, Cuddy. So yeah, man. So right now, the grade that I have from him from his performance with the Commanders is he's in detention, bro. He is in detention. You're in detention, Marshon Lattimore. You're in detention. You got a C-. Your behavior is not good. Your behavior is bad. And you haven't done anything. You haven't broke up no fights. You ain't pick up no trash. You ain't stay late after school. You ain't bring me no apple, any of those things. So you're in detention, and your grade for the Washington Commanders for the games that you played in the time you've been here is a C minus. Your C minus. Everyone that's still here, let me know your grade for Marshon since he's been here. We're going to let this run for about 20 more seconds. But yeah, that's where we at, man. So what y'all got? He's in detention for me, and he is C minus. Yes, Brandon, he's in detention. Plus, he talking about turnovers, but I ain't say and that. Whoa, Cuddy gave him an F. All right, I ain't mad. Yeah, and that whole thing with that interview. Yeah, come on, y'all, throw y'all grades in the chat. I know you. If you gone back to work, if you got a sandwich in your hand, wipe it under your armpit, so what I'm saying, you don't see it nowhere. Nobody won't see it as you finish out your day. A little grease, just wipe it up under your armpit. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, type in that grade. Or let me know if you want to, like CJ say, bye. Like CJ want to get rid of him. That's cool too. Secure says D plus. Like he took no accountability. He's talking about the offense giving up turnovers, bro. You gave up touchdowns too. You got penalties. Like I would have loved for him. I would have loved for him to step up in that situation and talk about his take accountability for his faults and losing that game. I think he had a chance to win back some of the people like Cuddy and CJ and Secure and those guys, what I'm saying, that want to get rid of him. Well, CJ, I don't know why else say, but CJ. Cuddy said F, so I don't know. But like some of those guys, I think he would have won some people over, you know what I'm saying, if he would have took accountability right there. He didn't take accountability, so yeah, here we are. D minus, incomplete. That's fair. Radar D, no accountability. Well, I don't care if he stays or go, but for him to come in and not take accountability and kick rock, see, if you'd have took accountability right there, you would have maybe, be a softer side for CJ. BSJ at least said what he can do better. Well, shout out to BSJ, man. You know what I'm saying? Got that runway deal with Nike. Shout out to him. Yep, I saw it. It ain't for football, Kim. It is for fashion. Thank you all for coming into the Double Nickel Cafe today. As always, your food and your drinks, which is coffee, water, lemonade. We don't do alcohol here, but everything is free. It's on Redzone in the Lab. We appreciate y'all. Remember, man, ignore negativity, embrace positivity. Always. Have fun. Enjoy the rest of your day at work. Peace.